welcome to episode 248. In search of awesome sauce, we got some fresh new juice, awesome sauce for you tonight. Aleesha Reil, we're calling her the Instagram virtual consultation and hair goddess. And when you see her work on Instagram, you will indeed agree. She is from Jazz Hair Studio, Belleville, Ontario. So my buddy's in Canada. And I got to ask her how far outside of Toronto that is as well. Salon owner is Rick Mabey, and I'm going to say Mark B. And the summit coach is my good buddy Lana Martell, who drops F-bombs all the time, but who's talking? The reason why I invited her tonight is because first of all, she's on a roll in her income. And when you really look at what 2020 is, I think that Canada was like locked down for 100 plus days, like 110, 120. But in spite of that, so you start comparing apples to apples, and she blew 2019 out of the water, and she's on a roll to do the same on 2021 as well. Level 4, age 25, $120 average service ticket. Her haircut price is at $50, so she is in the game. Her guests are very much included in her service menu, going way beyond haircutting, and she's as much of a hair color Jedi as she is a hair Jedi. And well into triple-digit referrals, so 120, 130 referrals a year. That tells you that she's using social media to the nth degree. Rebooking at 67, RTS is 18, and the rest is history. She's here to, as always, she's going to tell us a little bit about her life. Her story is amazing, but her timeline in a nutshell: high school in 13, hair school in 15, does a 3-month associate. She gets fast-tracked when she starts at Jazz because she brought some experience with her, and the rest is history. If you are not following her on Instagram, it's Aleesha_Reil. I just absolutely love her work. First of all, the quality of her work is exquisite. Her grids are off the charts. I love what she's doing on highlights, etc. And we'll take you on a little field trip there tonight as she's talking about how she's using it to blow up her income. So she's in my green room now, as I always do. I'm going to go and get her, and then we're going to have a chat about her story. And then she's going to tell us about what's working for her. There she is. We're going to unmute her. And you are going to make my friend Aleesha feel.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Really good. I know that you work today behind the chair, and then you rushed to do this. So thank you very much for coming and sharing your experience with us. I really am grateful for your presence.
I'm so glad to be here.
And always, you got your buddies on with you tonight. They're just like you're blowing up my sound, my dashboard. They're sending you a lot of love and thumbs up. So you're in good hands.
Good.
Well, Aleesha, what we always do when we bring on somebody like you is we always like to start with the story, because the story gives us a sense of who you are as a person, kind of gives us a vision of what's possible. And I love your story. So get us started. Who are you, and how did you decide that you were going to do this and get to Jazz?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I grew up in my grandparents' salon in Kingston, so I've always aspired to be a hairstylist, watching my Nana do all these beautiful colors and everything. So I told her I wanted to go to hair school, and I did exactly that. I was in a 2-year program, so I had lots of time to learn and explore. It wasn't super fast-tracked, which I loved. I worked in their salon for the first little bit, and then we had an opportunity to move to the Belleville area, so I picked up everything and moved away. And I came to a city I didn't know anyone, and I applied to salons all over Belleville. I found a job at Cosmoprof because coming from a city where you don't really have any people. I did start working at Cosmoprof, and I was there where I met someone. They said, you need to go to jazz because I feel like it's everything you've ever wanted. So I met Mark in the Trenton Salon, and on the spot, he gave me a wonderful interview, and I started pretty much right away. I fast tracked through the associate program with Rick because I had already had a little bit of experience in the salon. It was a wonderful experience, and I started working with Redken Color. It was a product I was looking to be a part of because they have an amazing education program. And I'd always aspired to be a Redken color stylist. So I got the Redken Color certification recently, and I've started now training an associate.
Oh my God. So you've been on a roll. And,
Yeah.
Mark's on tonight, Lana's on tonight. Linda's on tonight. She says, I'm Nana and I'm so proud of her, and her papa's smiling down from heaven. So you got the whole fam dam with us tonight. And so you've been on a great role. I loved how, the reputation of a brand like Jazz kind of preceded everything, and people around you were blowing in your ear that if you really want to get to a place and grow and have a great livelihood as a hairdresser, that Jazz would be and you took them up on their word, and the rest is history.
Yeah. That day, I drove right from work to Jazz Hair Studio.
Well, and I can't remember who it was, if it was Mark. I think it was somebody blew in my ear. I got this direct message on Instagram or Facebook, and they were telling me about your story. I said, you got my attention. And then you and I started chatting, and the rest is history. Now, when we bring people on to the show, to get to a place that you're at, you just don't get there by showing up. Stuff happens. So somewhere between the time where you decide to go to Jazz and where you're at now, we have call them these definable moments, these OMGs, if you will, and they kind of change us up. But sometimes I'll call it pouring nitroglycerin on the bonfire. And I know you've had one of those. Tell us about what that difference maker was.
Well, coming from a different city, social media was definitely one of my biggest things. I needed to build myself in the new city and have people recognize me. And also, the Summit Salon Planner was probably a great start as well because it kind of gave me goals to strive towards as well. And just continuing education with Redken, it just really gave me new ideas and new trends to put on my social media as well.
Yeah, I love it. What I heard you say is the continued education kind of gets us the content, but there was the
Mm-hmm.
combination of you finding, the power in social, specifically Instagram, and then the planner gave you kind of like a scaffolding, a structure where you could kind of think through what you were shooting for in goals and how you were going to take advantage of time when a guest is in your chair, empty windows of time. And that was like the difference maker. It's like, oh, wow.
Yeah,
I have much greater control of my growth, my success, my plan than I thought. And that's really what kind of blew up your clientele.
absolutely.
So that's a big ride. So you're in a different place now than 2-3 years ago, and I know
Yeah.
that we're all walking through the pandemic. So there's just a lot going on in the world right now. But what's your life like now versus the way it was, and how is this kind of changing you, changing your standard of living, changing your lifestyle, changing your livelihood?
Yeah, so I'm on social media a lot more. One of the things I do is stories. I keep that up to date as well because I can't go visit all of my clients all the time. So that's a really great way for me to keep in contact with them. I have them post selfies after our hair visit so that I can connect with them as well, which has been amazing.
Yeah, I'm showing the world you've got this extraordinary highlight. I bet you have 100 pieces of content on that highlight. And it's not only your clients' pictures, but things that they're saying. And you've figured out how to put that into a little almost like post signage inside of the content. What are you using to do that? Like just what you find on Instagram story features, or do you have other apps as well?
I share those from their stories, but I use Cut Story sometimes to create more content that they've given me, and add it all together.
Yeah, and I mean, these are people that are in front of their mobiles and they're
Yeah.
talking, so you can see your work that they're modeling. You can hear what they're saying. Then you've got in this one particular one, it looks like she's really giving you a big plug. And then you've got some caption stuff, and yeah, that's a great play. And I would encourage any of my followers, if you just go to Aleesha's page and hang out on her selfie highlight. There's just a lot of cool stuff to do. So you're saying in COVID, when we're shut down, I'm building my platform. Like your
Yes, stay
Instagram page
connected.
has become your digital lookbook, almost like your own website inside of Jazz. So I've not seen something this well thought out in a while. So what's next for you? Where do you go from here?
Well, I have the goal to reach my level 4A status. And I've always wanted to become an educator for Redken. So that's something I'm going to start working towards as well.
Oh, I would imagine that just your presence on my show tonight. I know the Redken team in Canada, so I would imagine they're gonna be showing up on your radar sooner, Red. And I know they are now. So you're kind of in the flow. This will put some nitroglycerin on your bonfire. I want to get you talking about. You and I were actually chatting about it before the interview. You're one of hairdressers that I would say are on the very front end, that 2.5%, where you're taking this idea and this term that was almost non-existent a year ago, virtual consultation. So and it's now there's this consultation that clients get before they even show up, and it's happening on various places online, and we're calling it a virtual consultation, but it is now becoming a major difference maker, and I know it is for you, and I'd like you to maybe give us a little bit of your experience with virtual consultations since COVID.
Absolutely. It's great because they don't have to leave the comfort of their home. It kind of gets rid of all the surprises. I'm able to talk to them a little bit more personally and build that relationship before they come in. I can talk about what products I would recommend and have them kind of prepared for that before they come into the salon. We can talk about different treatment options as well before they even step into the salon.
Yeah, I mean, that piece is so huge, and I don't know if you even realize how state of the art and how much ahead, the leading edge, just you. Like if you said, Michael Cole, you get around a lot. What percentage of hairdressers would you say are taking advantage currently of virtual consultations? And I would say maybe 2%, 2 out of 100. And you're one of the two, and you're probably closer to the 1% than the 2%. And like you said, that you're discovering that when we have that experience, all the stuff happens before they show up. So there's a connection, there's a relationship.
Yep.
You almost feel like the first appointment's the second appointment. There's all of a sudden they're more comfortable adding on to the service that they thought they were going to schedule. Like you said, you're talking product. A lot of times you can almost bag up the product that they're going to get before they even show up. And it sounds like you're making that discovery.
Yeah, absolutely. And they love it too because they feel like they get to know me before they come in and they're like, oh, like good to see you again.
Yeah, and I'm hearing that new clients, when they get a virtual, those are the clients that are not no-showing. like they're real stoked about, I can hardly wait to get there. And have you found that has changed the actual consultation as well? Like when they come in, how has that changed up the real time consultation?
It's like a lot of a quicker process. I find they come in, they're like, we've already talked about this. You know what I want, let's go.
Yeah, and you and I were chatting about this before the show, Aleesha, that Redken L'Oreal now has this program called Salon Emotions, which they've kind of engineered a process, and now virtual consultation is a formal part of the process. So there's the consultation before they show up, and then when they do show up at the front desk, everything's been done. So there's little upselling that needs to be done. A lot of times the retail is in a bag waiting for them when they come in. So when they go out there, so it's a real powerful process. And it sounds like you're getting some incredible leverage on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it.
Now, the other thing that you said when you and I were chatting was that how you're using Instagram highlights to educate your guests for aftercare, that you've got some things on your highlights around retail. So you've turned your Instagram page almost into a client tutorial or learning channel. Talk about that piece.
Yeah, so like a lot of my clients, they ask me, how often should I wash my hair? Like, what's my aftercare? And I could tell them, and I used to write it out for them and put it in the bag with the product and everything. And I thought it was just a really great idea to have a highlight just on my page that they could press on and just look through all the advice I have for them. And I love to add to it too, because sometimes they surprise me with a question I haven't thought of putting on there. And a client that I've had for years will be like, I never thought of asking that. And I'm so glad you put it on there.
Yeah, you like this is in your highlight, you've got a slide and then you've got some text about deep conditioning. And then the next one is hairstyling and then blonde, so that if all somebody did was just hung out on that highlight, whether they're in your chair in real time or before they coming in, that's now become your voice.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're using this to do some of the heavier lifting. So you're reimagining the communication process for your guests to come in. I mean, that's what's so cool about your page and your content.
Yeah.
So what would you say to people that are watching this that have been in the game a while? And what they're doing is, let's just say the traditional stuff. I'm not using virtual because it's creeping me out. And so I'm doing this in my traditional consultation. And I have an Instagram page, but whatever it is I'm doing with it, it's not to create a highlight to show my clients, about my product, because it's new and it's kind of outside of their box a little bit. And so they're watching you tonight, they're listening to you, they're relating to you, and they're going, okay, like I'm kind of at the holy jumping off point. Do I do this or don't I? They're looking at you and they're just kind of there. Is there anything you want to say to them that might nudge them to take the giant leap of faith into what I'm going to call modernizing, reimagining yourself?
Yeah, so you just got a cave. You got to do it.
Right.
They love it, and all the response I get back is all positive feedback from my guests. They love that I'm on there. They love that I'm adding all this information for them, because if they have a question, instead of like reaching out to me at the salon or sending me a message, they can just pop onto my Instagram and go through a few things, and they can find all the answers they need. And they love that.
Yeah, well, you're 20 something, so and I'm guessing now, so correct me if I'm wrong, this has been your approach since you were in school and coming into the salon. So this is all you know, where somebody that's been in the game for 10, 15 years, 10, 15 years ago, there wasn't really an Instagram. And so all we had was, what we had, the traditional. So for that community, and I love them, a lot of this is unlearning what we used to do that doesn't work as well as it used to, so that we can have the bandwidth to learn this. So you can imagine for a lot of people, it's like working with two left hands. It's very, very awkward. Where it's natural. You're a native to this. And you're saying, take the giant leap of faith. Just like, don't listen to the fear in your head. Just do it. Oh. And what I heard you say is, your clients are going to receive it. They're going to be delighted by this, and you're going to be surprised by the experience that you're having, never mind your clients.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Well, Aleesha, I know it's been a long day for you. I want to let you get back to your life, but promise me you'll come back for an encore as we get through 2021 and ahead of that, because I have a feeling that you're just getting warmed up and there's more nitroglycerin to be poured on your bonfire.
Definitely. I would love that.
All right. Well, listen, thank you very much for coming on tonight. Say hi to all my homies in Canada, and say hi to Lana and company, and Mark and company, and Rick and company, and tell them I love them all. They're still giving you lots of love on my dashboard. So thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you're very well. We're going to give it up for Aleesha one more time. You take care, my friend.
You as well.
Okay. Wow. I mean, that was a cool interview. Did you go on the field trip with us to Aleesha's page? Because her Instagram page is it's the bomb. So you'll learn a lot by the highlights if you get there. So I just loved how what I got from the interviewing of her tonight is how she's a native to this. So she doesn't know how to do what we did 10, 15, 20 years ago when we didn't have social media in the traditional ways where we build. So she's got a home court advantage, meaning that she doesn't have to unlearn that like a lot of us need to unlearn. There's just some of this stuff we just need to let go of because it's not working as well as it did. Now, some of you are, you're holdouts and you go, I know, but I love it. Great. Just know that you're going to need to work a lot harder to get that to work than you made it work 5 years ago because of our changing world. So my hope is that you would take that to heart as well. So great evening. I just loved the energy. If you are new to our community, you're on Michael Cole Summit on Facebook. This conversation happens 2-3 times a week now on this platform. It's become a learning channel for hairdressers, estheticians, massage therapists, nail artists, people at the front desk, salon owners. I want to modernize my operation. I want to digitalize my business. I'm in the digital age, and I want to shore up and get my business aligned with that so that I can benefit and really enjoy the results of that I deserve. So hang out on that page. Michael Cole Summit on Instagram is temporarily, the lights are off. I got hacked and they deleted my page. I have a community of 45,000 people that are kind of looking for me. Hang in there. Sooner or later, we'll get that going. I have another Instagram page, Michael Cole Next. It's a little bit different content. So I'm spending a lot more time on Facebook as well as TikTok. I have a Michael Cole Next platform as well as Michael Cole Summit on YouTube. So if you if you Google Michael Cole Summit, it's going to take you to all the places on the internet that and the content is pretty much verbatim the same, and that is to help you to digitalize your operation When my Instagram page gets back, we will edit, like this was about a 20-minute conversation with Aleesha. We'll put it down into about 3-4 minutes to get the essence of what we chatted about, and we will put that on my IJTV channel. So stay tuned for that as well. We have a brand new, well, when I say brand new, we have a .com. It's called SummitSalon365.com, and I'm loading up not only new content on that, that's a subscription site, but the video is very, very much unlike what you're seeing in real time in organic video on platforms like Facebook Live. It's what's called production value video. So we can, in 2 or 3 minutes, because things are well thought and there's all kinds of editing and things happening there that really make the learning much, much more effective and intensive and focused and curated. So I put my first, I actually got 2 programs on there. One is the social media training that I've been doing for years. And since COVID, I have a brand new course called Top 20 Wellness, emotional wellness, mental wellness, relationship wellness, because we all now need that to help us navigate the pandemic. So there's a subscription fee that comes with that. It's minimal. You can use your level points to get on that. So please take advantage of that. You will love it. All the other stuff on SummitSalon.com. Aleesha and I was talking about how the Summit Planner was a major difference maker for her. So it was the combination of the planner, the script guide, her Instagram training, which with the video support that when you're on Summit. So that basically was her kit. If you are a salon owner and you're not plugged into the Summit community yet, plugging in today is very, very different than it was a few years ago. Yes, you can go to the traditional online Summit, but now we have online coaching. So what used to, where a coach would show up on site and coach and mentor you and your people, we still have that, but there's another option to this called online. And I think we're about 50 to 60% of our 100 coaches on our faculty now are doing the majority of their coaching on Summit online coaching. And so it's basically making that happen on Zoom, if you will. Now, if you're interested, get on SummitSalon.com. You can, or call us and schedule a complimentary 30-minute, we'll do a virtual consultation and show you what's possible there as well. All the other stuff that we have is our digital tools that our calculators that help you set goal, our tracking apps, and those are all complements of, because we're powered by L'Oreal Professional Product Division. I'll get to that. Allow me to do a shameless plug on a .com called MC Tatis. It is a nonprofit. It's really where I'm doing my philanthropic work. I happen to have personal, my soul is moved by children in the inner city, impoverished, because that's how I grew up, that need more help with literacy. Literacy matters. So there's literacy partnerships that this foundation helps to fund. And anytime you buy one of my t-shirts, all of the proceeds go to funding that. And there's some cool tees. I call them tattees. So I don't wear tattoos. I wear tattees. And I'm also a very, very big, I show up with my time, talent, and treasure and support people in the recovery community. So people that are in search of recovering from addiction issues. So all of this goes to a great cause. Hang out on there. There's some really cool t-shirts that I think you'll love. Last but not least, I always like to acknowledge and express gratitude to who we're powered by. Summit, Michael Cole Summit is L'Oreal Professional. These are the brands of L'Oreal Professional. And anytime you are using and talking to your clients about this brand, these brands, those dollars go a long way for them to underwrite and power our so that we can bring this content to you, not for free. Nothing's for free. There's no such thing as a free lunch, but it's brought to you compliments of them. So it's an extraordinary partnership, and I've been part of L'Oreal for, I think I'm 26, 27 years into it. Summits and Summits inception 20 years ago L'Oreal has been our exclusive sponsor. So thank you, L'Oreal, and please, please, please support what they do. Follow our community, plug in. It's a great chapter of your life. So great show tonight. I love you all, and I look forward to seeing you. We're doing now 2 programs a week, one on the millionaire behind the chair millionaire, the millionaire hairdresser. And so we're bringing in hairdressers that are well on their way to becoming a millionaire behind the chair by following our 4-rule millionaire mindset, which is give yourself a raise, pay yourself first, pay down your debt, spend less than you make. Tonight, Aleesha was all about how do you give yourself a raise? How do you blow up your income? But if you want to leverage your income and have a 7-figure net worth over 10, 15, 20 years, that's a great thing to show for your hard work. The mindset is, in addition to giving yourself a raise, which means raise your prices, raise your ticket, raise your retail, raise your rebook, raise your referral, pay yourself first, which is save money. So save a few thousand a year and put it into something long-term so that the money returns the favor of working as hard for you as you are for it. In addition to that, paying down your debt. Pay down your credit card debts, pay down your auto debt, pay down your second mortgage debt, pay down your home debt. When you're debt-free, you're half rich. So we do both at the same time. And if you cannot afford to do both at the same time, we're going to bring you back to, you need to give yourself a raise. That's why you need a plug-in a summit. That's why you need our coaching services, helping you to blow up your income to $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 a year is no longer the challenge it used to be. We can help you do that, but we just don't want you to do that. We want you to become a millionaire by spending less than you make, put a little bit of money away each week, pay off a little bit more of your debt each week, so that in 10, 15 years of working behind the chair, you can say, in addition to being a hairdresser, I'm a millionaire. So gone are the days of, I'm just a hairdresser, I hate the word just. You're not just a hairdresser. You're a hairdresser Jedi who is making more money and building more worth than people that graduate from college with a 4-year, 6-year, 8-year degree. I'm not putting that down. I think it's wonderful. I love them all. But we figured out how you can build an extraordinary net worth for yourself if this is your plan. So great concept, great conversation tonight. I'm going to let you get back to your dinner and have a great dinner. I'm going to have some dinner myself. So thank you very much, and Godspeed, and keep blowing it up.